Hi, I'm Bob Stezzi from Stezzi Training and Consulting, and I'd like to talk to you today about a simple way to help your employees to improve their performance. The biggest problem in the workplace is when the employee doesn't really understand what they need to do to be successful in their jobs. So what I would suggest that you do is sit down with your employees and make sure they understand what are the most important things that you need for them to do in order for your business to be successful. I like to ask employees what they feel are the most important parts of their job. In other words, the 4 or 5 main tasks that they're required to do. And I get an answer from them. Then I'll like to talk to their boss and ask them the same question. And unfortunately, I often get different answers. So there's a problem when the employee and their boss has a different idea of what they really need to do on the job. So this is really where the disconnect happens, and if you really want to be an effective coach, sit down with your employees, make sure they understand what are those main indicators that show you that they're doing a good job, get agreement on what those performance standards are, and of course what you want to do after that is provide them with feedback. And if they need to improve, try to determine whether they need clarification on what your requirements are, or if training is required. Lots of managers feel that feedback is kind of a negative thing, that you only give people feedback when they're doing things wrong. In fact, I was talking to a manager a while back, and he tried to describe his leadership style to me. What he said was he kind of leaves his people alone unless there's something wrong. In other words, he felt that he was staying out of their hair and enabling them to be more successful that way. And so I kind of just looked at him and he said, "What?" And I said, "Well, you know, if you only come to see your people when there's a problem," and I just kind of let it hang there. And he thought for a second, he looked at me, he said, "Oh my gosh, I've become the Punisher." And that's really the problem. If you only see your people when they're doing something wrong, you do in fact become the Punisher. And what you really want to do is see your people for lots of other reasons. In particular, let them know when they're doing a good job, let them know you appreciate the job that they're doing, and when they're not meeting your standards, you need to come to see them to find out exactly what the problem is. The bottom line is this: you want your people to know what it is that they're expected to do and how to be successful in their careers. And that means you need to be clear on what your expectations are, and you need to give them frequent feedback and appreciation for the job that they're doing. As a result, you get a more committed workforce, better trust in your work environment and in your workplace. If you'd like to have more information on how to be a more effective coach or how to help your supervisors to help your people to be more successful, please contact Stezzi Training through my website or by telephone. I'd be happy to come out to your organization and determine what your training needs are and put together a training program that will help your organization to be more successful.